They may be gone, but they certainly won't be forgotten. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down the top 10 video game companies we wish were still around. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we've looked back at those few developers and publishers who sadly won't be making any new titles anytime soon. Bear in mind that we will only be including those companies that either close their doors entirely or drop down to the point of non-existence. So while companies like Rare may not be as hot as they were in the 90s, there's still a chance for them to make a comeback. Number 10. Core Design. While their earlier work on the Amiga and various Sega consoles never really got much recognition, it was in 1996 where things really started to heat up, when they gave birth to the Tomb Raider franchise. For the next few years, this franchise would help them to become a prominent gaming studio. However, it also led to its downfall. When Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness failed both critically and commercially, Eidos Interactive switched out Core Design for Crystal Dynamics to head up all future Tomb Raider games. This led to many of Core Design's top staff choosing to leave, resulting in the quality the company had been known for to dip down significantly. Number 9. Acclaim Entertainment. For 30 years, this company helped to publish multiple games across the world, as well as porting plenty of arcade games to console. As the years went on, Acclaim would end up acquiring some of the developers they had worked with in the past. This led to further development on franchises like the Turok, NBA Jam, and Extreme G games, while also creating new games like Vex. Sadly, due to the low sales numbers, the company was forced to close down many of the studios they owned and would end up soon filing for bankruptcy in 2004.
Skip the highlight reel tonight, folks, because you just saw it.
Number 8. Free Radical Design. A company formed out of ex-Rare developers, Free Radical Design looked to continue the success from GoldenEye by creating the Timesplitters series. In keeping with their previous work, the series managed to capture the same level of fun thanks to its fast-paced gameplay and exhilarating multiplayer. How could things go downhill? Well, having to cancel the third installment of the Star Wars Battlefront series didn't help, nor did the underwhelming performance of Haze for that matter. Eventually, the company would be purchased by Crytek and become Crytek UK, which later down the line would end up having its own money problems to deal with. Number 7. Clover Studio. The word unique seems to be the most fitting term to describe this once Capcom-owned developer. Headed by Atsushi Inaba and formed from members of Capcom's R&D department, Clover Studio started strong with the sequel to Beautiful Joe. But the studio's biggest creation was the visually stunning Okami that managed to go on to receive tons of critical praise and win multiple awards. Sadly though, this was not enough to make the game a commercial success. Things didn't get better with their next game, God Hand, and with Inaba's departure to go on to make Platinum Games, the studio was eventually dissolved back into Capcom soon after. Number 6. Factor 5. As another studio that only found its groove much later in its lifespan, Factor 5 spent much of their early career working on games like the Turrican series. But it was their excellent Star Wars-related space combat games that really gave them their wings, so to speak. With thrilling games like the Rogue Squadron series under their belt, everything looked to be smooth sailing from here on out. However, things really took a turn for the worst, as their newest title, Lair, failed to capture the same thrills as with previous games. It also didn't help that the publisher of their next game, Brash Entertainment, went under, leading Factor 5 to follow them soon after. Number 5. Midway Games. Another iconic company that sadly met its end. While they did dabble with both the console and PC markets, it was in the arcades where they reigned supreme. From here, they would develop and publish multiple hits like Spy Hunter, Tron, and lest we not forget, a little fighting franchise named Mortal Kombat. It was also thanks to them that Western audiences were able to play early game changers like Pac-Man and Space Invaders for the first time. Despite the heydays of the arcade gradually fading away, Midway remained financially secure. However, as time went on, things started to go south, leading to most of their properties being sold off to Warner Brothers.
Fatality.
Number 4, Pandemic Studios.
You need to get inside that complex.
With a name like this, you just know you're in for a game with complete and total mayhem. Established by 2 former Activision employees, Pandemic rose thanks to its variety of tactical and demolition-like games, with noteworthy titles like Full Spectrum Warrior, Destroy All Humans, the Mercenaries series, and the highly popular Battlefront games. Eventually, the studio would be purchased by EA. However, this would turn out to not be a long-standing partnership, as EA ended up letting go of up to 1,500 employees across all of their studios, resulting in Pandemic being shut down a short while later.
Resist this, filthy monkeys!
Number 3, Westwood Studios. Like others on this list, Westwood Studios started simply enough, with games like Eye of the Beholder under its belt, but it was the real-time strategy game Dune 2 that set them on the path to greatness. While the game wasn't the first to invent the genre, there are many who believed the game did help define it with Westwood, going on to garner much critical and commercial praise with the Command & Conquer series. It would be this success that led to their purchase by EA. However, this change was not something many in the company were happy with, as EA would often rush game development, leading many to leave, and thus the studio went defunct in 2003. Number 2, THQ. Originally starting as a toy manufacturer, this company worked with both virtual and real-life toys up until 1994, when it started to focus its efforts on the ever-growing games industry. As the years went on, the company worked with a range of developers and even started acquiring multiple studios. These included notable developers like Volition, known for the Red Faction and Saints Row series, Relic Entertainment for the Warhammer and Company of Heroes games, and Vigil Games for the Darksiders franchise. In the end, the company filed for bankruptcy in late 2012, with multiple divisions and properties being sold off, while others were forced to shut down alongside THQ. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, LucasArts. A long time ago, there was a studio named LucasArts. Founded by the man himself, George Lucas, the studio naturally found much recognition for the multiple Star Wars-related games that were developed and published under them. But that was only one side of it. We were also blessed with standout games like Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Grim Fandango, and lest we forget the Monkey Island series. In the end, their fate came down to Disney's acquisition of its parent company, Lucasfilm, with them announcing a few months later that almost all of LucasArts staff would be let go and that the company would only remain so as to license out properties.
I wish your mother were here to see it. But I know she watches over you and is proud.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.